Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome to a Scrap Mechanic bonus stream with Light. So, I haven't been able to post a Scrap Mechanic video for a couple of weeks for assorted reasons. I wanted to get one out this morning, but when I started to actually get into the timer last night, it didn't go so well. A couple of things were my fault, a couple of things were just weird computer game interactions. Allstruck, welcome! So, while we wait for everybody to show up, I'm going to enjoy a couple of Skittles. The Pie Guy 24 has arrived as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you don't mind the sound of Skittles. And to all you lurkers who stop by and don't say anything, welcome to you as well. You never have to say anything. You're always welcome. Josh, why are you not currently poisonous sugar? Firestorm HD, I don't recognize your username. Is this your first time here or your first time saying something? Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my videos. I suppose I should move the mouse on the screen, make sure... Oh, is it not capturing my mouse? I suppose I should get into the level just to make sure everything is working the way it should and you can see what's going on. Grayson Mueller, welcome. Nice to see you. Okay, we're here, and it looks like you can see everything appropriately within the game. Yeah, it looks like it's all the way it's supposed to be. Poisonous sugar. Poisonous. Way too fishy there, Josh. Way too fishy. So I suppose I can start off by talking about what I've done so far and what was not quite working. So far I've got the front panel, I've got the 10-bit adder right here. I got the 9-bit adder right behind it, which I am fairly confident are functional. Fairly confident. Over here behind these blocks, I've got the pulse separator. Oh, why no game sounds? Enjoying them gates? Yes, I do enjoy gates. Why no game sounds? Okay, so the sounds are getting to OBS, but they're not getting to me. That is incredibly strange. You can all hear the game sounds, right? Yeah, because I see them going in OBS, but they're not getting to my ears. My videos are helping you building. Where did I know all physics? Well, I did have a physics class in high school, but more importantly, the internet knows everything. Pretty much anything you want to know is on the internet. You just need to be willing to look at it and go, okay, that part I don't understand, and then look that part up. And every time you go through and find something you don't know, you look that up. Little bit by little bit, you'll eventually know all that you need to know. Okay, so I'm going to tab out, try to get my sounds working properly. for me, because it's really off-putting to not have any in-game sounds for me. And hopefully I can get it to do that without causing too much undue distress to you guys. Huh. That's really quite strange. Okay, so that's odd. I don't want to reset my audio system because that will move all of my windows around as well because they're intimately tied together. Mild frustrating. Oh well, I will just deal with the eerie silence and y'all can enjoy the sounds of the game. So, what I was saying, right. We've got a 10-bit adder, a 9-bit adder. We've got our pulse separator over here. Up here, we've got our 3-tick pulse generators, which go into our counters, which are 8 bits each. Too much Windows sounds. Okay, well, that was me testing the sound. Yeah, I know I should probably talk to Brent about some things. He did leave a comment about self-wired gates, and that does sound interesting and would really help. I don't use a headset with sound control. I just have regular old earbuds and a separate microphone, hence the sound quality. I mean, I suppose I could try a different output to just check whether or not it's the earbuds being stupid. Here we are, different output, and still no sound. So it goes. But yeah, self-wired gates would cut down on the size of this thing tremendously. It would be ridiculous how small this thing would be if we could self-wire some of this stuff. Because then you could make a timer that didn't use all of this nonsense. There would be so much nonsense you can get rid of. So, yeah, someday I'll actually sit down and talk to Brent about some things, but we don't need them right now. And the blueprint isn't so much as how do you actually do self-wiring. Unless it was written up how you do self-wiring, then that might be fun. But we'll do that in a bit. We want to actually work on this for a little while. So let's get this up here. And this is another thing that I'm not entirely certain why it happens. Somehow putting this on that causes this blink. So that button is not connected to anything. Right, it's not connected to anything. So let's hook up our reset button. Why are they called earbuds? Aren't they called earphones? Well, earphones are... Well, they theoretically could be called that. It's just because they're smaller and so much smaller than headphones that people wanted a smaller sounding name. And given they look like the small parts of plants, hence buds. Okay, so now that we've attached that, we should be able to go kabam and fix the blink. I don't know what's causing the blink, though. Yeah, I've got a Nintendo right here. I could blow on just about anything. Okay, so we got the reset thing. Oh. What? Oh, right, because I walked in front of the thing. Okay, so we need to check what progress I made on this thing. So I've got this guy plugged into that. Ah, so he played with the program. You can't actually make them in the game. That makes a bit of sense. Okay, so this is not running, which is why it wasn't counting. So we turn on the pulse separator. So now if we step in front, it counts up. Brilliant. Which means at the very least, we're able to pass this counter through that adder. We need to make 2 more of these counters. 2. So let's try to make sure we build them correctly this time, because last time I wasted a lot of my efforts making faulty counters. Okay, so here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And across we go. Oop. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, chunk. Okay, from here, we need to make it match this. So they're facing a different way, but we can live with that. We're going to take this part and attach it up there. So we want the ands along here, the XORs along here, and the knots along there. I mean, they're NORs, but I'm not sure it necessarily matters because they only have 1 input each. So how are all of you doing? I mean, we just had Thanksgiving here. I had some quote-unquote time off. But as always, it's not exactly off. Like, those breaks are never quite as off as you'd like them to be. Oh, I know what you're trying to make. Now it's a binary counter. Sorry to break it for you. Made one himself, and it's a little bit smaller, but not by much. It's hard to believe that it's not much smaller than mine. Because this is really huge. And what I'm making is a 1-tick resolution timer. But when you need 3-tick pulses to increment this counter, you need 3 counters. Okay, now to remember how to make this thing. So the knots go to all of the later ands. The ands go to the next one over. So we just go like this all the way across. And then we go up, up, and down on each of these, which is what makes them, at least in theory, nice fixed state circuits. Okay, so a lot of up, up, down. 3 by 2 by 10 or so. Yeah, that's significantly smaller. That's a lot smaller, because this is 5 by 5 by 10. Volume-wise, yeah, that's a huge difference. Okay, so we got these lined up like that. And then we take, yeah, the bottom ones and send it to everything after. So we go here, and there, and there, all the way down the line. The main reason we're doing this way is such that when we need to attach these outputs, they're at the bottom, so they're easy to get to. The ands are less important. It's these knots down the end, which count as ones, which we need to hook up to our adders. So we did the first one. Now we continue down the line. Basically what this is doing is checking if there's an input and all the previous digits are 1, then you increment the next digit. Yeah, 3 times smaller, 3 gates for 1 memory cell instead of just 1. But he also is likely to have some efficiency gains somewhere else in the system too, but I'm not entirely certain where, or I would have made those improvements myself. And so we just continue the pattern all the way down, and eventually it will all be wired. And there we go. One complete counting thing. And then all we do is we take our... Oh, right, we need to detach it from everything. Then we take our welder and attach it to our thing. Beautiful. We'll put it back on here. Turn this back on. Okay, so we didn't break anything just by attaching it. It's always promising. But this back one is still flashing because it isn't hooked up to anything at all. So if you got photosensitivity, sorry, I'll fix it. That's not fixing it. Okay, so let's hook it up to our reset button then. I may have messed it up at some point, because it has been a few hours since I made one, and I was trying to do it from memory. It may not have gone exactly as planned. I might have wired them in the wrong order. Come on now. Okay, so now that I've hit the reset button, it is in a nice stable state, so that's good. But that is now broken. That was weird. You good? You're good. Okay. So now to hook this up to the rest of the machine, we need to bring the output from this part into it, which is actually mostly easy, but a little bit frustrating, because we need to bring it down to this one, and then each of these 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So we just want to go through each of these 8 and attach that to it. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we've hooked up that mechanism to this counter. So if we push information onto it, it should actually accept it. The next step will be to get it out of there, but that'll come in a second. Okay, so we've got a little bit of supposition as to why it causes the weird flashiness. In my experience, it tends to come from getting an input that isn't 3 ticks. Isn't a multiple of 3 ticks, let's put it that way. Okay, so let's test it. Turn it on. And this should just count. We want to make sure it counts, and it counts all the way up. And then resets back to 0. And victory. So we have victory on this front. All we need now is to connect it over. So the problem there becomes we're not connecting it to this one. This one's easy to get to. We're connecting it to this one. This one is slightly harder because it's in there. And we need to connect it to 2 parts of this adder. So if we look at this one, you can see that it connects down to this one, and it connects down to that one. So shift that over by 1, and we'll be able to, at least in theory, connect to this one and that one all the way down the line for each of these 8 outputs. Defaulted such that it's offer paused. Well, the thing is, it should be. It's supposed to be off when you drop it and put it on. Like right now, if I took it off of here, it would stop this over here, and that would not be activated, so it shouldn't flash. Oh, and it doesn't. So perhaps since the front was, and putting it on causes it to flash. There is nothing active. Oops. There's nothing that should be telling it to do anything at this point. And yet, it's still trying. Not sure why, but so it goes. Apparently Josh and Allstrack are watching Initial D anime. Have not seen that myself. Hey now. Oh, right. Forgot to turn it back on. On. Okay, still counting. Good. So, what we need to do is connect this to there and to here. Whew. Learned a lot about cars just from watching that anime. Interesting. Oh, it's so hard to see them through the reset line. Maybe on this side? Oh yeah, this side is a lot easier to see. And Pie Guy 24 likes potatoes. I also like potatoes. So the question becomes, in what order do we attempt to do this? And can we move it down so it's easier to see up top here? Yeah, it'll be easier to see up top with it down a bit. Josh Motto, it's the other way around. Learn about cars from dad, anime from friend. Therefore, put it together, et voila, initial D. Day? Depends on whether or not they pronounce it like Formula Day. Okay, so we bring this in, and we're aiming for number 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's double check that count. Measure twice, cut once. Okay, so that went to 8. Now we take this and take it up to 8. But we need to be careful because there might be something on the other side of it. So yeah, let's remove this one. Ah, see? Went to the wrong place. Because there's 2 further over. So this one's going to be a lot more frustrating. That's just like you pronounce D in English. Okay. Okay, so the bottom part will be easy. So let's do the bottom part first. We just take it over 2, and we're good to go. Because right now we're connecting our counter to our adder. Okay, so that part is the easy part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there are 10 across the top here for that to get to. My goodness. So somehow we need to keep track of this line independent of all of the other lines going on. And then we do it again slightly further out. English, English, or American, quote, English. Or, as someone on the internet called it, traditional English or simplified English. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oof. It is really hard to get a bead on that part. Which is why the first time around I didn't include this part over here until I was done. Like this right here, I didn't include until I was actually done adding all of this stuff over here. Made it a whole lot simpler. And this is why this stream is going to take a couple of hours. I need another Skittle. Okay. I just wish you could paint these nodes. And then I could color code all of these nodes and we'd be well on our way. Can I? No. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5. Oof. And it's so hard to just ooch it just a little bit. Just a little bit, mouse. Just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to take this one, and we're going to try it. Going to get all lined up. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Was I right? I was right. It'll be easy to tell if it's wrong, but it won't be quite as easy to tell if it's right. And we can tell if it's wrong late, but not whether it's right early. Okay, so this one is coming up top here and here. And now we need to send it back. Okay. Geez. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Exactly what we need. Brent Batch! Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Got trouble making a timer? Well, a little bit. It's a bit of a mess, as you can probably see if the stream quality is good enough. And I tried making it last night, and I did a great job until I realized each of my counters was not actually a counter, so much as an accumulator. Oh well. Now we get the fun of reattaching these counters to these adders. I had 1. Come on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then making sure it is, in fact, attached correctly. 6 is good, 7 is good, 8 is good. Good! A bit. Well, I am prone to understatement. Okay, so we have 8, 7, and 6. Let's do 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Super easy. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Checking 4. 4 looks good. Hawkins! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Had to pick your mom up from work? That is a noble endeavor. It's a wonderful thing to do. You didn't miss too much. I made 1 counter, attached it, and now we're trying to connect it up. We are on number 3. 1, 2, 3. And then a number 2, a 1, a 2, and then a number 1, which is super easy. Double checking. 1 is good. 2 is good. 3 is good. 4 is good. 5 is good. 6 is good. 7 is good. 8 is good. We have them all connected. So now, if we reset it, it should still... Why? Why would you not count properly? So something is not connected properly. Okay. Why not just try it with selector so it already gives a decimal output easy to decode to 7 segment? If I knew what that meant, I would probably do it. Why exactly am I building here? Or what exactly am I building here? If Josh were to make a timer, it would make it a lot more mechanical. So confused with all the fancy gizmos and gadgets. So something is not correct. So it could be that I misaligned something in this counter, or it could be that my 9-bit adder is not actually an adder. Wait, it's just a binary counter. You can do that with 2 gates per bit. Well, that seems like something I would expect you to be able to do. So something is being weird. So let's check this, make sure this is good. That is good. We know this counts. We know that counts. So you can make a stable binary counter with just 2 gates. Can you do it without self-wiring, though? Because I don't know how to do that either. Okay, so we know the counter counts. Actually, let's check the behavior of it later on. It's interesting. Every couple of bits, it does something weird. So let's go underneath, make sure that I connected the bottom properly. Without self-wired gates, 4 gates per bit. Like this? Hey, look, 4 gates per bit. Is it 1 tick resolution with the 4 bits, or do you have to actually split it like mine? Should put a door on the side so I'm not bullying those poor wood blocks. Yeah, I probably should. Okay, so this one, come on now, goes across, good. This one goes across, good. This one goes across, 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 and across. Okay, so the bottom is good. Okay, so those are all connecting into here the way they're supposed to, which leads me to believe that it is in fact the adder that is not working properly. Lovely. Whoa, that's the wrong color. Okay, simple test. Oh, there is a problem. Nope, that's not a problem because that's connected in. Okay. Thought there might have been a problem. Not a problem. Okay, so that there. Put this one further in. seems to be working according to plan. Which is not promising because the other part is not working according to plan. Okay, so 1, 2. Oh, that's weird. Hello? Why are you being weird? Did you not connect up top here? Disconnect that. Well, something seems off. Counting down to... All I need is a timer. It needs to count up when I walk past and stop when I get to here. Okay, I clearly disconnected something crucial. Should make a mechanism out of bearings to separate the logic gates and make it easier to wire. Yeah, that's going to be phase 2. And that phase 2 is going to start right about now because this is insane. It just does not work. But was a good test experience. So yeah, I didn't want to make it expandable because I wanted it to be nice and compact, but at this point, that's kind of what it needs. Actually, that's desperately what it needs. So yeah, I'll need to make a side thing that'll expand out each layer such that we can work with it in a way that's reasonable. Oh yeah, the Twitch chat is a little bit covered up at the moment. Cool Dude 9, welcome. And the reason I tend not to read the Twitch chat is because this current one concurrent viewer is usually as high as we get for the popular on Twitch things. Scrap Mechanic is not quite so popular on Twitch. Okay, so this guy, not so great. Let's make something better. So, how do we make this better? We're going to make... how tall does this need to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tall. Gonna need a bunch of bearings. Gonna need a couple of controllers. How far do we want it to be able to open any given level? Use XOR memory cells. That's how I make it better. Is that not what these are? Apparently not. Okay, so we need to make it expand. Okay, so let's think this through as carefully as we're able. Two whole viewers on Twitch. Thank you for stopping by, second whole viewer. Okay, so we don't really want it to fan out. We want it to accordion out. Hmm. So if we make it come... I don't know. Ostrak needs to go. Thanks for stopping by. Ah, Hawkins is the other. Okay, so... Ah, that's not what I meant. Yeah, I think... I haven't made a nice accordion. And we need to make it at least wide enough for me to walk through. So I suppose that initial idea was okay. But we need to close it down to 1 wide. So how wide am I? I always forget. Because I don't think I'm too wide. No. 3 wide. Okay, 3 wide. I can make it through. But I need it to connect 1 over. Because I do want it to fold up nice and tight. But also fan out nice and flat. I mean, I suppose I could put some controllers on it such that it just defaults to a certain expansion. I haven't actually tried controllers on the new setup. Always turn it blue. Let's just see what it does. Ah, but it would need... No, that's fine. And then once I take it off, it's okay. I see. So, need to build it the way it needs to be. Yeah, definitely not a meter for each of these blocks. Let's see. Because I suppose I could just... Hmm. Go by floppy disks, that's 1 meter. Why not? Whoops. It's not elegant, but it's effective. Okay. Maybe the unit for length is blocks. Well, yeah. But there is no the unit for length. There's just units for length that you want to use. Doesn't much matter what the truth is. Okay, so we're going to push that one over. That's good. No. Yes? Yes, that's good. This one needs to go the other way. This one needs to go that way. This one needs to go that way. Yes? No. Yes. I'm just going to keep saying no and yes. Can we call it a Wooten meter? Well, there are certain things we can call Wooten meters. Okay, so what we're going to do is put a lot of 90s in. See if it does what we want. Science. Does it think it's all one solid structure? Did we not connect it properly? Did we not turn it on? Hello? We've got a whole... All right, it's on the thing. Goodbye! I always forget that it's on the lift because I never used the lift. I'm not too fond of people joining and showing me a perfect counter that works. I don't really need that at the moment. I like fooling around with stuff and seeing how it works. Hey, look, it's a thing. It needs more mass, but it's a thing. And it turned on my other thing. Stop being on, thing. But no, we don't need a guest star on this show. And apparently it's funny if you ask Siri, what's 0 divided by 0? I do so love undefined results. Okay, so we've got that expansion. Okay. Thing, you need to turn off. You're getting kind of annoying. Okay, so we've got that set up. Then we just need to build the gates across and then build another one on this side, and then it can accordion like nobody's business. What did I call the unit of measurement in my torque videos? Wasn't it a Newton meter? Yes, I did call it a Newton meter. Okay, so we've got that. Gonna put in. How are we going to put them in? I don't like them facing that way, but it's gonna have to do. Doing an accordion setup with gates is gonna lag a lot. Oh, right, because that thing lagged quite a bit. Even just trying to get, like, just putting it on the lift made it move a whole lot smoother. Getting them to move. How much is a lot? But yeah, I can't, in good conscience, put something in the workshop that's going to lag the bejesus out of people's computers. Even if it is in the name of science. A lot of collision issues. Okay. Bonjour, Vicente David? Vicente David? Vincent. It's hard to know. Okay, so let's see. Hey, what happened to Minecraft? Jay, glad you asked. Scrap Mechanic had gotten a bit delayed, and unfortunately so. So I decided to do a Scrap Mechanic stream. Yeah, actually, let's test that out. We're all about science here, so let's see how bad the lag actually is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I had missed several weeks for various reasons. And it will be back. I'm not going to do Scrap Mechanic every week. This one is relatively special. Okay, put that in. 2, 4. Okay, now I need to picture in my mind how these were going to go. And give it another try. And hopefully it won't go flying away again, like it did the other time. No, that's not how science works. Yes, and I know you could join me anytime you wanted. Don't. And I suppose that is kind of how science works. Someone else figures it out and then they show everybody. And then we go... I thought it needed to swap, but... Mind if you fall asleep listening to me? Feel free. I will try to have a nice, soothing voice, such that you can fall asleep as you so choose. France is quite a ways in the future, and it's getting mighty late. Accordion, accordion. Brilliant. And now, we just add a bunch of gates. We don't need the fifth one on top here. We want it to stick out by one. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And one for good measure. With a Titan! No joining. This is a solo show where I'm doing science. No need to have any guest stars. And if we were going to have a guest star, it would probably be Brent, given Brent knows exactly how to do what I'm failing to show here. That was weird. 8. Will be nice. Just sub. Thank you for the sub. Glad you like what you've seen and or heard. Right now, we were working on a timer, but instead, we're testing Brent's statement regarding the lagification of many, many gates. Okay, now this one I do believe needs to go all the way up. Long wooden beams, eh? Okay. To each their own. So we're at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoops. And a 9. So we should be able to just pick this guy up. Plop him down. And open him on up. Do keep in mind, I'm used to working with thousands of gates at once. Well, yeah. Goodbye, just looking for someone to play Scrap Mechanic with. Sorry, I'm not that person. Thank you for stopping by. And yes, working with thousands of gates is very different from working with just this tiny little timer. But I'm thinking if I can make each of the components separate, I can walk in, work with each component, and not have to worry about too much spider webbing towards the end. Because we can come in here, we can have all of the different parts opened up, and then close it back down and have a nice compact thing. Now in this one, yeah, we put the timer bit here as well. Yeah, I do need to add tiny little feet. I was going to get there, but right now it's not the right size and it would just topple over. So, yeah, so we need the knot and an and to make the separator? Well, it's a concept. Yeah, it's an idea. It doesn't need to be great. I'm not working on great here. I'm working on functional. Not and then a bunch of ors. And then we add ourselves a button. Should not have replaced my bearing. Okay. Not into and, button into both. This into thing, down the line, and back. Brilliant. So then we can add a piece of wood here and here. Let's add some glass here. Pick it up. Let's add some tiny little feet. Tiny little feet. And there we go. Nice little expandable thing. We've got these facing a different way, so we know they're not part of the adder. And we can come in here and do all the stuff we need to with these parts. That is not a one-tick clock there. No, this is a pair of adders. Wait, no. This? This right here? You're saying this isn't a one-tick clock? That at any moment, one of them is lit? Why don't you expand it when you work on it? Isn't that why you built it like that? Well, I'm going to build the whole thing because I know which gates I need. But I want it to be hunkered down in the end. One tick on, two off. Yes, that is exactly what I want, Brent. That it separates whatever comes into it into 3 independent trains. Your mind, it's melting. So each of these 3 is on for exactly 1 tick and then off for 2 ticks. The next part extends each of them out to 3 ticks such that it's always exactly a multiple of 3 so it doesn't throw off the other parts of my thing. Your thing might not have that requirement. Your thing might actually be able to handle any length of pulse. This design here cannot. This here flips out if you give it something that isn't a multiple of 3. Freaks out. So I give it pulses that are always a length of 3. And then it comes out and it does what it's supposed to. Apparently it's a multiplexer. Why even build an adder? You can just flip the next bit only when all previous bits are on. Well, yes, I can do the counting, but this counter requires a multiple of 3 ticks. If it gets something that's, say, 7 ticks long, it flips out. Flips out. So I don't know how to make this have 1-bit precision and be persistent such that it knows stay where it is when it's done. So if I knew what about this made it flip out with those strange lengths of pulses, I would be able to make this much, much smaller. So as it stands, I have to separate it out into 3 independent tracks and then add those 3 together. So I take these 2 and add them, and then add this to that, et voila, I have the total change. Use XOR loops for 1-bit precisions. So that doesn't mean enough to me for me to be able to implement it. 3 gates in a loop give a 1-tick pulse to all. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out what he's saying. Three gates in a loop give 1-tick pulse to all. 3 ticks, 3 gates in a loop. One tick pulse to all. That is beautiful. Okay. And then if we give a, okay. The output of this loop goes into the NOR gate of the pulse shortener to get a set function. I'm not certain I have. Into another AND OR gate, then into the AND gate of the pulse shortener to get a reset function. I don't think I have an actual pulse shortener. Like I've got a, unless this is what you mean. Goes into the NOR gate of the pulse shortener. So, well, but, okay. Yeah, I think I might be able to make something like that work. Yeah, this is the thing you're talking about. So the output of this but does it go back to this one or does it go to a different one? Like so? Oh, it's brokified now. But that's probably what we meant to have happen. So that's a set. Welcome back, Josh, as Poison Sugar Gaming. Well, I could just feed a NOR gate into itself like Minecraft. Yeah, just wire it. I'll see. So that's set. And then for the reset, and then into the and. So we have a thing. That's not a good place for it. Let's put it over here. This and that into here. Clears. No. Something is wrong. Yeah, I know it's not broken. Something is not quite right. If I want reset, add another gate and feed it into... Okay, so we don't need that. Or do we? Do we send it here as well? No. Something is not quite... Not the same one, a different one. Okay. So we need a second one over here. That's what he was going to say, but he didn't know the words. Okay, so we've got too many things going too many places. Into the and. One tick pulse. And the and is coming from the output. Like so. And then this goes to all of them. On. Off. On. Off. And then let's grab one of these. And let's add some more wall. That is how I make one of these, right? If any scrap mechanic devs are watching, please make it so you can just feed the NOT gate's output into itself. Okay, so this... Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, so, and then if we make it one tick, it should remain the same. If we make it 0 ticks, it should change. If we make it any even number of ticks, it should change. And any odd number of ticks, it should stay the same. Brilliant! Yeah, they aren't going to do it. Yeah, Brent makes a great point because you can't see if a gate is wired into itself unless they add a second thing to it, and they're never going to do that. Okay, so we've got ourselves a cell here that could be fairly easily replicated. So the set button, I'm not too concerned about. The reset button is important. And then this, having it flash on through without freaking out, is good. And then all we would need is a few extra ands down the line to make sure it counts up down the line. Yeah, you got self-wired in the workshop. Don't know if you can post a link. In Twitch, I could totally permit you, but it doesn't look like we can. However, if you send it to me in Discord, I can totally grab it from there. But like I was saying, it shouldn't be too hard to adapt this into something better than this monstrosity over here. Because instead of having all of this, you've got this. It's just a matter of figuring out what this is, how to actually make it nice and compact, but being able to go shoop and shoop is pretty good. So let's put it back to even, such that we can easily toggle, 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 toggle. Self-wired gates. Copy. Come on now. Go into the chat window. And paste. Toggle. Okay. So you've got an input that could be any length. That's super easy. Just one thing that does what you want it to, like this gate here. It XORs two inputs such that when I'm just running by, shoom, and off. So that gate would replace all of this stuff. This button is that button. Instead of being wired to all sorts of things, it's wired to one tiny thing. However, how many of these do I actually need? Because do I need one of these for each of the cells to reset each of the cells? Because I do want to be able to reset the whole thing back to 0 with one button push. And to be able to toggle them, it needs to know their current state. I only need 2, I think. I don't know. Let's look at this. A 1-tick pulse. I might be able to make it such that it only sends it through to the ones that are lit. Like if we put the and on the other end. My Twitch is showing something different from what YouTube is showing. That sounds unfortunate. Is it frozen? Or is it just vastly delayed? It is muted, but it looked like it was about right. They work on one tick clock, so you can basically just hook them all on each other. Let's double check that what's happening on Twitch is what's happening here. And if you just heard an ad, sorry, I thought it was muted. I still don't have sound for me, so I can't actually tell what is going on. And yeah, Twitch seems to be okay. But then again, it's very possible for YouTube to get very, very, very behind or do odd things. Okay, so like I was saying, does it work to put this "and" on the other end? Can we put it here? Oh, but it needs to send it back to this. That's the problem. Because this needs to be hit by that. I mean, I can just add another one. I don't like it, but it'll work. And then send this to each of those. Does that work? Toggle and off. No. Clearly something is not right. You should not be going anywhere. Stop going, please. Off. Still off. On. Off. Brilliant. And so I would be able to lead all of... Well, I could have one tick clock, but then that would still add two. It would add 2 gates to each digit, and that's just no good. Huh. So that's no good. So yeah, those are super basic. We don't want this. We don't necessarily want that, but we do want to be able to set it to 0. Like I can see how to add it. Oh, sorry, I don't have Discord where I can see it. It takes too much screen space. So for anybody who wants to see it done right, it's there in the chat. Flip's the only thing I need, but how do we set it to 0, Brent? I want to set the whole kit and caboodle to 0. How do we set it to 0? We've got a whole line of these things. Counting up, count. How do we then set it to 0? Because I see how this works for that, but I don't want to have to duplicate this all the way down the line. That's not 4 gates per digit. That's 7 gates per digit. That's too many gates. Too many digits. Because you need to identify if it's lit and then flip it if it is, without any sort of self-wired shenaniganery. This item does not exist, apparently. Well, there's the thing. It does look incredibly simple. Never mind, just lag. So XOR loop to AND gate with one tick input to all gates XOR loop. I'm sure I'm missing something really simple. You'll add reset to the simple design as well. Okay. Because just... Two gates per cell is the only thing you need to set them all to 0. And that, I assume that's an amortized 2 gates per cell? Because yeah, that's the design I just had. Where you've got check and hit. So yeah, that's the design I had. It's more than I wanted to add, but I suppose it's fine. So instead of 4 gates, it's 6 gates. A third more. But yeah, this one, tap, 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 tap. There we go. And off. It's good enough. But even 6 gates per bit is still way better than all of this nonsense. It's just a matter of figuring out a nice way of laying this out such that it's easy to spider web it without too much sadness. How did I do that? I'm not a wizard. Well, at work I'm a wizard, but here I'm not a wizard. This design is the same thing that I built over here. Oh, Brent's a wizard. Yes. That's a lot of arrows. Okay, let's see if we can follow what he's typing. Serial counter without reset. XOR loop to 1 tick generator to XOR loop to 1 tick generator to XOR loop to 1 tick generator, all the way down the line. Yeah, I get that now, Josh. And yes, well studied in this sort of thing. I am not. Oh, yeah, count down the line. Brent has lead hacks. You have no idea the lead hacks that Brent has. Well, you might have some idea. He did threaten to join without being invited. You mean, how did he update it so fast? He's in the game right now. He added a few gates. Well, lots of gates. But he also knew exactly what he was doing. Knowing exactly what you're doing helps quite a bit when doing these sorts of things. Your game nearly crashes every time you start it. That's not pleasant. Okay, so let's build what was just mentioned. So XOR loop. One tick. XOR loop. Loopity-doo. One tick. Into an XOR loop. Okay, so for these, they go up, and we bring it in to both. And then we bring it out to all. And then we put a button, who's got the button here, out to all. And then we push the button and see what happens. Okay, the button is no good. The button goes too fast. Push the button, push the button. That seems backwards. So we push the button and it turns all of them on. And it subtracts one every time we push the button. Fascinating. The NOR gates are output. Are they? Well, I suppose for you they are. But now we know how to count down, I guess. Well, that's fascinating. What did I mess up? This one is gonna make everything insane again. If you have photosensitivity, please look away. Oh, right. I don't have anything going into it. No, don't rewire. Just look at the NOR gates. NOR gates are the visual output. Oh. I see. Okay, so what did we mess up? Comes in here, goes to all. Okay. Glitched! Beautiful. Pick it up, put it down, push the button. Something is wrong. Nothing seems to be wrong. Okay, unwiring the whole thing, just to make sure we do it right. Okay, so we loop these, loop these, loop these, combine, 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 input to both, output from there. Input to both, output to all, output to both, output to all. This is different behavior. Huh. Fascinating. Okay, now that's just toggling that one. Ah, that's why. My fix broke it. No wonder it was being weird. Okay. There we are. Back to normal. Why exactly am I making this? Is it for a racetrack or something? Kinda, yeah. Basically, I want to know how fast you walk, how fast things drive, how fast things fall, to be able to figure out various physics things, because I'd hit a bit of a wall for measuring speed. And Major League Gangster can't chat in YouTube. I'm not certain why. Is there something I need it for immediately? Well, my next episode was to measure the speeds of various things. And right now, for this stream, it's just because I feel like playing around with things and understanding how they work. Okay, so we've got 0, 1, 2, 3. And then if we add another one, it'll go swimmingly, right? Nothing could possibly go wrong. Up, 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 down. Into each. Into each. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0. Beautiful. Okay, so this is a counter. The reset is a little sketchy, but it does in fact count. This one here, we could make a counter like the one over there, and we have a functional reset function, such that you've got 6 gates per bit. If you want to count up to 10 bits, 60 gates. It's not that many gates. It's all right. Can drop this one down now. Bonk. And we made a fun little accordion design for this one over here, which we might use for something more complicated later. That feeling when something works how you want it to. Oh, it's so nice. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Light, Google Murphy's Law. Oh yeah, Murphy does tend to cause trouble, but I mean, in this case, it just went okay. Let's add another one. And then you can just keep expanding this forever and ever and ever. Amen. And count as high as you need. And I'm just doing this again for practice. You always need to practice these things to make sure not just your short-term memory knows how it works, but the entirety of your memory knows how it works. Such that you can just do it anytime you need to. And there we are. Perfectly functional counter. He's light, he knows almost everything. That's not true. I know many things, but nowhere near almost everything. There's so many things. Yeah, so we could adapt this design here. I suppose it's this design here. To this design here. So we can adapt this onto each of these. So, yeah, let's put it here. So each of these gets an extra pair of ands. One for identifying if it needs a pulse. And then one to deliver the pulse. We're not going to connect them down until we have the pulse generator. let's extend the wall a little bit. Make another one of these. And then hook this to here. And now we can hook them down. And then kapow. But that resets it to everything on. So that's not exactly what we want. We don't want this. We want this. Wrong one. Maybe? I don't know. Hold on a second. Up, here, and there. Not this one. That. That was not right either. Okay, so that is not working. That is not what we need. Because that doesn't happen the way we need it to happen. So you said to send it here to overflow it. Let's see if that does what we want. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good enough. And then we clear it, and it's cleared. Easy peasy. I just wasn't certain about the and then overflow it part. I wasn't sure if it would hit it at the right time to actually be able to do it properly. But there we go. We have a thing that counts. Let's red that, blue this. And then we can just take this out, put the timer back in. And so this should now 0 ticks, counts to 3, like it should. Can we count to 14 on this many bits? 1, 2, 4, 8. Should be able to. Clear it. Count it. 6 plus 8 is 14, like it should be. So we have a thing that counts. Did anyone else notice a significant lack of ducklet? We all are feeling the lack of ducklet. But ducklet might not be into this sort of thing. Ducklet is often here for the Mario Maker. Not sure if ducklet was all in on the Minecraft. Don't know if ducklet's into this game at all. We never actually asked. Probably should have asked. So let's go for 17. And there we are. Counts to 17. It's a beautiful, simple little adding device. Now, if we want to make it like this thing over here, all we need is an XOR that we paint blue, and then a couple of sensors. Let's put them here and there. Hook them on in. Paint them blue as well. And we can time how long it takes to walk from here to there. Theoretically. It might have taken more ticks than we had to count with. Using self-wired XOR gates makes it even smaller. I would imagine so. And no, Brent, you have not been here when Ducklet was here. Ducklet is a rather entertaining fellow. Or lady. We don't know. It's a ducklet. Oh, it's not actually wired. That would help to wire it. Okay, it's a thing. We probably need more bits for actually measuring that distance. Click, 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 click. Yeah, we need at least one more bit to measure that with precision. So we've got 2 minutes left. Let's build a couple of more bits and just test that little bit out. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This goes into all 3. Up, up, down, into both, up, into all 3, up, up, down, into both and up. This goes into the top one. The bottom comes into it. Our reset goes into the top one. And the top comes down. That's all it takes. Hit the reset. Oh, and there's the timer. Boo-da-da-doo, boo-da-da-doo. So I do need to be getting going, despite the frustrating lack of XOR-ness of these. and the 1 tick pulsedness of these would help to actually set them to be what they're supposed to be before trying to make them work. Ah! Okay, so now things work. If we were to walk from here to there, charge! And there we are. So 1, 2, 4, 8 plus 32 is 40. Did it really take us exactly 1 second to walk that far? We may have. Exactly 1 second to go from here to there. Because 40 ticks is exactly 1 second, and that, my friends, is a great way to end an episode and a stream and everything, because I have to go to rehearsal. But thank you all for stopping by. Thanks, Brent, for teaching us all how this thing worked instead of just showing up and building it for us. Because now I imagine at least somebody... I thought I might have been pressing... Yeah, I might have been hitting escape. I don't know. Oh, I might have hit the X. It was all not conscious. But you might have been able to follow along if you didn't know how to do this before. And we went through every single step on how this works, why it works, and how to make it bigger and smaller. And the next step is just to compactify it such that we can drop it anywhere we like and measure whatever we want. Maybe hook it up to some graphical displays, see the forces of gravity at work. But I do need to go. Thank you all for stopping by. There might be a bonus stream tomorrow playing Don't Starve Together with Purple Frog Plays. I can't guarantee it, but we might have one of those, and it'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern, so half an hour earlier than this end time, for probably about an hour. So if you can stop by then, great. If you can't, I know there are a lot of Europeans in the audience, and it's way past your bedtimes. But whether or not it's tomorrow or Wednesday with Super Mario Maker, or the next time I make a video for this, I will see you in the next stream or video of Scrap Mechanic or Mario Maker or Minecraft or Don't Starve Together with light.